Welcome to Cooks Cac. Okay, no. Bienvenidos, chicos y chicas. Welcome to Kat's Cooking Channel.
You asked and we listened.
Today we'll be doing a receta de la familia, enchiladas rojas. So if you guys want to keep on watching how to make authentic Mexican enchiladas, go ahead and keep on watching.
We don't use no cans.
What's a can? Okay, so to make our enchiladas rojas, vamos a usar chile de arbol. They're the little ones. Then we're going to be using California Chile peppers. They come like this. We're going to be using a can of chicken broth, garlic, pepper, some salt, some cheese, and your choice of chicken. I like rotisserie chicken just because I just have to shred it and it's ready to go. So for the filling, we're going to be using chicken and cheese. I like Monterey Jack cheese, but you can choose whatever cheese you'd like. And a little extra bonus, we're going to be doing arroz mexicano. We're going to be using consommé. We're going to be using tomatoes, some onion, and more garlic. So let's get started. So like I said, for the red sauce, you're gonna need California chili peppers, Chile de Arbol, some pepper, some salt, some garlic cloves, and chicken broth. So I'm gonna have everything ready here. Just waiting for my water to boil to put the peppers in here, and we're gonna be using a comal to brown our little Chile de Arbol peppers. So I'm just waiting for it to warm up and we'll be started in a little bit. So we're gonna now boil the peppers, the California peppers. We're gonna rip off the top of these just because you don't want that in your sauce. So after your water's been boiling for a little bit, you just wanna add them in here and let them soften. So I usually put about 10, but you can put the whole bag if you want, just to have more sauce to put on top of your enchiladas. Just because we like really saucy enchiladas, not really on the dry side. I mean, who does like dry enchiladas anyways? So yeah, we're gonna put them in there. Oh, that sounds so cute. What song is that?
From Coco.
Oh. So now we're gonna do the chile de arbol. You only want to use about 5 of these because these are very spicy. Unless you want your enchiladas to be unbearably hot and kind of bitter, then be my guest, add however many you want. So I'm just gonna rip off the little stem at the top and brown them on here a little bit so they're toasty. So like I said, use about 5 of these to rip off the stem because these are very, very hot. And then we're just gonna brown them. When they're like kind of a little black, but not too like, it could be brown like that, just not super burnt, because that'll also increase like the bitter taste in it, at least in my experience. So yeah, you just want to brown them a little bit. Also soak these in so they're nice and soft. And yeah, they're about done. Okay, so now we're gonna put everything in a blender. After these are done soaking, just want to put them in here. Okay, so now we're gonna add our chicken broth, a can of chicken broth with about 2 garlic cloves in here. And then we're gonna add some pepper and some salt to give it some taste. Salt. Now we're gonna blend everything. in there. Oh my god. You forgot to put the blade. I'm dead. Fucking rookie mistake, bro. So I went ahead and added a little bit more chicken broth, and that gives you about four cups. So now we're gonna get a strainer. We're gonna drain this out. So now we're gonna strain the sauce. As you can see, all the whatever's inside the chili is in here, like the seeds and stuff. So now you're just gonna shake it out. And you can see all the seeds on the top. And that's gonna give you that yummy red sauce for your enchiladas. So that completes the sauce part, and then all the excess you can just throw out because we're not gonna use this.
So right now what we're gonna do is shred the chicken, and like she said earlier, this is a rotisserie chicken, which is way easier than making the chicken and shredding it just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the skin, and then I'm gonna shred the chicken and place them on separate plates. And then Catherine is gonna shred the Monterey Jack cheese.
And this is gonna be used as our filling, guys. What's gonna be inside the enchilada.
Yes. How much of the cheese are you gonna use?
I usually like using the whole block of this. It's not that much cheese, but I like to use them in the filling. So I like to put chicken in there and also a little bit of cheese, so you have the best of both worlds, not just one or the other. And I like to sprinkle this on the top as well, so you have more cheese on top. So yeah, the whole thing.
Kobe. Oh, I actually made it.
One thing I love about our family though is like, my mom is from Mexico, de Nayarit, so she always made authentic Mexican food for us when we were younger. Whether it be salsa verde, chile rellenos, enchiladas, mole, anything that you can do, chilaquiles, just everything is authentic. Yeah, tostadas. So good. Now we're gonna heat up a pan with some oil. You can use whatever oil you'd like, but I'm using some corn. And you're gonna fill it up, like be generous with the oil, like a lot of it.
Like a pool.
Yeah, like a pool of oil. And this is gonna be used to dip our corn tortillas in there. We're gonna dip them in there, and then Jocelyn's gonna go ahead and start the assembly process of the filling, and we're gonna have a cooking sheet to place them in. So this is what the setup is gonna look like.
Look at them go.
Yeah, so you just wanna wait till it's a little hot so it starts bubbling, so it's not just the oil. So wait for about like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, depending on how high you got it. And we're just gonna warm them up a little bit. And then after, you're just gonna dip it in the sauce. And she's gonna put the sauce on both sides.
So after you dip it in the sauce and get it all saucy, you know, kind of like that, like covered completely, you're gonna go ahead and lay it in the pan. Lay it in the pan, and then you're gonna put your filling. Your filling, there you go, like your chicken, your filling. And like we said earlier, our filling is gonna be both chicken and cheese, so you have the best of both worlds. Because, you know, ¿por qué no los dos? And then you usually put like a generous amount. You know, I like to make sure that like there's an even amount of cheese and chicken.
Yes.
Just so it's not like more than one or the other. And just kind of roll it.
And then you roll them like a burrito.
Just like that. Ta-da! There's the first one. And then you just repeat that process over and over again until your tray is full. And then if you have extra, you just use another tray. So as Jocelyn is gonna be rolling these and assembling them,
I am gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So by the time we're done assembling the enchiladas, we can just pop them in the oven. And you're gonna put them in the oven for about 20 minutes, just so that the cheese can melt. We are gonna be topping the enchiladas with extra cheese on top with leftover salsa that we have after the tray is done. So again, you wanna preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and you're gonna cook them in there for about 20 minutes. Okay, so after it's done, it should look something like this. So I feel like they could be a little more wetter, so I'm gonna go ahead and top more of the red sauce that we have left over, drizzle it on top, and also top it with some Monterey Jack cheese so it's nice and melted. So this is what it looks like after. It looks so good. So we're just waiting for the oven to preheat a little bit more, and then we're gonna pop them in there for 20 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna be making Mexican rice. So obviously white rice. You're gonna need some tomatoes, about 3 of these. Roman tomatoes, I believe they're called. And then half an onion, some garlic. I know I'm cheating with the minced garlic already, and some consomme, which is the main ingredient. This is your holy grail, like in Mexican food. It's used for everything, so don't forget that. And yeah, so now we're gonna do 2 cups of rice. You don't have to do 2 cups of rice, depending on like the portion sizes, or if it's you're just cooking for yourself or for your family. I like to do 2 cups just because I get to like meal prep it, I guess, and eat it for a couple days. So yeah, we're gonna do that. So after you have your 2 cups of rice, we're gonna go ahead and rinse it so it's not dirty. So now we're gonna turn on the stove, obviously. Put in a little bit of oil, not too much. And then you're gonna add about maybe 2 tablespoons of this, like a good amount. You're gonna go ahead and brown that with the rice as well. So I'm gonna cook my little garlic first. So I'm gonna go ahead and brown this. You don't want this to be too burnt. You just want it to be more on the golden side, just a little bit. Alright, so it should look a little bit golden. If you're using minced garlic, the ones that already come in the container, you don't have to cook it for too long versus fresh minced garlic. So now you're gonna add your 2 cups of rice in here. And you're gonna brown this as well. So you want your rice to be a little on the golden side. You don't want it to be too white. So keep moving it around. Don't let the garlic burn. So just keep moving it around occasionally, just so it's like your rice looks a golden brown. Okay, so now for the coloring of the Mexican rice, we're gonna add this much onion. So kind of a half an onion, and then cut that in half. That's gonna be in there. And then 3 tomatoes. So you don't wanna just put it in there because it's gonna be harder to blend. So what I like to do is I like to cut it in half, like this. You can also cut it again, so the blending's like a lot smoother. So then after we're done with that, you're gonna put a little bit of water, not too much. Very little, just enough so that, very little, just enough so it can blend. So usually with rice, when you make 1 cup of rice, you need 2 cups of water. So since we use 2 cups of rice, we need 4 cups of water. So just us blending the 3 tomatoes and the 1 onion, you have about 2 cups of here. So we're gonna pour it all over, and then with the necessary, if we need more to the 4 cups, we can also add it in here as well. So you're just gonna pour it on there. So it looks very dry still, so I'm gonna put a little bit more. Okay, after that is on there, it should look something like this. So for this, you just do it for taste. Just put like a heap size. You're gonna drizzle it on there. And you're gonna start with 1. Put it in there, stir it into the rice. And then you're occasionally gonna taste it. You're occasionally gonna taste it just to see if it's too much or it's just right. And once it starts boiling, you're gonna cover it with a lid and cook it for 20 minutes. Don't try to peek at it and open to see how it looks. It'll be fine. Just after it's done boiling, put it for 20 minutes, set a timer on your phone, on your oven. After it's done, look at it, and then it should be done.
A little bit.
A little bit?
Mm-hmm. A little bit tomato, yeah. Go ahead and try it again.
Okay, so now we're gonna check on our rice after 20 minutes. And this is what it should look like. Then you can also, turn it over to make sure, everything cooked, that it doesn't look hard or anything. But yeah, it's pretty much done. The tomatoes and the onions and the consomé just to give it that, tomatoey feel, that orange color, so it's not white rice. So yeah, everything looks perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and now try it and see how everything came out.
Fun!
So you're Mexican when you have 2 different rags and you don't have oven mitts, or you just go get a toalla or whatever so that you don't burn your hands. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at how the enchiladas came out. So let's take a look. Ew, it's hot. Grand reveal. Are you guys ready to see how sexy this is gonna look? Ooh, wow. No más, qué riquísimos. Saucy and cheesy, just how we like it.
You can also see like the layers, like probably on the other side. I think that looks bomb.
All this. Are you guys ready? Mira.
This could be you. This could be you.
Okay, so now we brought a special guest. One of my sisters, Barbita, is gonna try it, and let's see what her face expression is, because face expressions don't lie. So do the honors.
Are these chicken and cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Not just one. Don't burn your tongue.
Yay!
Damn, your tongue probably burns. She is the queen of making rice.
Yeah, so this she can tell us for sure if we messed up or not.
The rice could use a little bit more seasoning. That's just me.
Really?
But-
Jocelyn.
I told you! Remember?
But it's good. It's good.
I did, and we added a heaping spoon of consommé, and then a little, like half a teaspoon of consommé. You know how you just like
Eyeball it.
Yeah, eyeball it just to taste it. There's really no measurements in the Mexican book. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like, ask your abuelita, ask your like mom. She'll be like, I don't measure, just. And that's it.
Literally, mom with the whistles and everything.
All right.
It's good though.
Good? Yay! You're welcome.
Alright guys, so that concludes our cooking video today, our first ever.
Yes, make sure to like and subscribe to our new cooking channel. We're going to be posting a lot more family recipes very soon and have a lot more surprise guests, especially for Thanksgiving time. So yeah, stay tuned.
Let us know if you want to see a cook-off against another sibling.
Ooh,
Let us know.
Bye.
Bye.